Okay, this is After Egypt in Action, episode 14, and I'm your host, Terry Davis. Okay, what can we talk to God about? Someone suggested we ask him about quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is when the Federal Reserve prints money, something like that. Quantitative easing. I asked God what field he was most better than humans, and he said economics. Although I asked him, we were talking about climate models, and he laughed at our climate models. That's one. You might be a climate change believer, but you have to admit the models are bad because they predict one thing and the other thing happens. Anyway, so there might be climate change, but the models are bad for sure. Anyway, maybe I could work on models. What I have is a very powerful computer that could do that sort of thing. It doesn't, well, the graphics might be a problem. Anyway, unto thee, but say in a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, and having under me soldiers. I say unto one, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at them, and turned him about, and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole that had been sick. And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nan, and many of his disciples went in with him, and much people. And now when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, and the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and much people of the city was with her. Okay, this is not a number. That's what that means. That's a computer programming joke. Anyway, so he's talking about models, not a number. Sometimes you only get one word that makes sense out of a passage, but it can be a significant word. Anyway, let's see. So I have a speech I give. I noticed this one time, the symmetry. I am a man under authority with authority over others. So the golden rule, or the law is do unto others as you would have done unto you. So if you have authority, you have to get authority, you have to bow to authority. Like if you want to be respected as a website, you have to obey website rules. So the world is perfectly just. That's what God said. So so all the people that are in authority, they follow orders. I one time thought about a officer. Does he give as many orders as he takes? No, he probably gives more, doesn't he? However, the officer has to obey the officer code of conduct. So that's a bunch of orders. So I asked God if the world was perfectly just, and he asked if I was calling him lazy. So look at the movie Titanic. The underclass was dancing raucously, and the rich were wearing straitjackets. That shows that. So if you want to make God happy, you probably try to imagine slavery as just. In other words, anyway, Oh, well, I usually give a sermon. This sermon's not very good. So, President Obama is not a slave, except he has to obey more orders than a slave. He has to watch what he says. One time I did a Moses comic. Have you ever seen my Moses comics? I did a Moses comic. Oh, actually, hold on. What am I doing? Let's quit this for a second. Ignore this. Okay. Here's my Moses comics. So I did a Moses comic one time. What if someone steals the ark? It's got LoJack. We've got to cross a river. Oh, come on, that's a creek. You are the most spoiled brats ever. So I did a Moses comic once as an offering, and I said, we're dying of malnutrition on this manna, and God did not honor my offering. And then I thought about it. Well, of course he doesn't like, how do I know the people were dying of malnutrition? Anyway, so if you want to make God happy, don't do the opposite of praise. Some people do the opposite of praise. Just herself, loud rocks, roll, handle dollars, goods talking, intercede, catechumen, forsook, lighten, wear on, fashion, months. Well, rock and roll, loud rock and roll. Yeah, the underclasses listen to rock and roll. Rock music is a lot more pleasant than classical. But some people, I guess it's kind of like some things you just don't do. And, they say not to masturbate. Maybe listening to loud music, sure, it's fun, but you're not supposed to do it. I don't know. Anyway, handle dollars, goods talking, intercede, catechumen. We have good music. Forsook, lighten it. We're on fashion month. Oh, well, how about that?